Hi, my name is Chris Dillard, and I want to share something with you that used to be a really big challenge in my life. Ever since I grew up, my whole life, I'd been incredibly shy, just absolutely morbidly afraid to talk to people. And if I went to a party, I would just sit in the corner and I would beat myself up. I didn't know what to say, how to act, how to be likable. And it was incredibly frustrating to me. And I stumbled upon this method called the release technique. And it's been really, really cool because the thing was that even though I was shy and I was at these parties just sitting by myself, my attitude was, screw you, I didn't want to talk to you anyway. That's the way I dealt with it. And so when I learned this method, that wasn't something that I worked on. I got into this because I had money problems and I used this method to take care of that. And that worked. But also what I discovered was that naturally I became more self-confident. Using this method of releasing, it got all my fears out of the way, it got all my frustrations, it got all my doubts out of the way, and I just naturally fell into a space of really being out there in the world and really just being myself and feeling comfortable, feeling happy, and it's natural. I didn't have to fake it, didn't have to do anything to make it happen. It's really, really cool, this releasing technology. And what I want to do is I want to show you a little bit about how it works. So first of all, take a look to see if you're uncomfortable in any social situations in your life, and see if there's any fear. Think about going up and talking to somebody, a girl or a guy that is really, really beautiful, and you want to go up and talk to them, and maybe they're a really cool person and you just are afraid to talk to them. Now take a look at that fear that's coming up. Imagine that fear coming up right now for you. Just put yourself in that situation and you feel that fear. Feel it. Now if you were to measure that fear, measure it on a scale of 1 to 10, how big is that fear? Just take an honest assessment. Measure it right now. Now, whether that fear is at a 3 or if it's at a 12, whatever that is, can you see that normally when that fear comes up for you, you've been saying no to that fear? In other words, you don't like it when that fear comes up. It gets in your way, right? So you say no to it. Now, when you say no to the fear, does it make the fear go away? It doesn't, does it? So what I'm going to ask you to do, and follow along with me, is to do something completely different. Because if saying no doesn't work, we're going to do the complete opposite. And what I'm going to ask you to do and invite you to do here is to say yes to the fear. Now, that may seem a little counterintuitive, but trust me, I'm not inviting you to say yes to the fear so that you can become more fearful. I'm suggesting that if you say yes to it, it's going to go away. So check this out for yourself. This is really cool. So take a look at wherever that fear is at for you. Like I said, whether it's at a 3, whether it's at a 7, a 10, or a 12, just say yes to that fear right now. Just yes. Y-E-S. And say yes to that fear a little bit more. And say yes to that feeling of fear even more. And say yes to it a little bit more. Say yes to it a little bit more. And say yes to it a little bit more. And say yes to that fear even more. And even more. And even more. And just say yes to it even more. Now take a look, see if that fear has moved. See if that number's a little bit lower now. Chances are it feels a little bit lighter, doesn't it? So right now, The rest of that fear, instead of pushing down on it, just let it up. Just let it go. Let it up and out now. Don't push down on it anymore, the rest of it. You let go of a little bit, let the rest of it go now. And notice how you feel. Pretty cool trick, huh? So, what this method of releasing does is it shows you how you're the boss of your feelings. So you can get to the position where your feelings don't push you around, but you determine whether or not you hold on to them or you just let them go. And what I've shown you here is just a very, very, very simple technique that proves to you that you can let go of these feelings. Now, there's a lot of really, really cool exercises and techniques in the release technique. So what I wanted to encourage you to do is try it out for yourself. You'll be really, really blown away. Trust me.